All right, David. Today I have a retro challenge for you. So imagine you're trapped on a desert island. You have a TV and a limitless supply of buttered Pop-Tarts, of course. That's a necessity. And Surge soda. I figured that'd be a good pairing. And all you get to bring are 3 movies to watch forever. So today I want to know what your 3 desert island action adventure movies would be. So let's go.
You really had me because I was like buttered pop. I thought you were saying popcorn, and I was like, "Yep, buttered pop." And people have asked like buttered Pop-Tarts ? That
Don't you Pop-Tart shame him. Don't you Pop-Tart shame
And I give him my mother's number directly. Like, you talk to her. Yeah.
My mama said that. My mama said that. My mama said that. My mama said that.
And then what I wanted to be mindful of is this is young David, young Eric, young bygone geeks stuck on a desert island.
Right.
So when you're doing this in your own head and you're ready to send the pitchforks after us if you don't agree, just remember this is you on your island and your movies. Get a different island if you don't want to be with Ian and I, okay? Crash somewhere else.
Get off my plane.
So what would you kick off with? The plane has crashed. You're seeing that sandy beach. You're crawling under the palm tree, and I guess you press the on button of your TV. And what's that third movie?
The first one for me would be The Rock. With Nick Cage and Sean Connery. And this is pre Dwayne Johnson, The Rock. I even had to look this up. This is 5 months before The Rock became The Rock, before he even debuted. Because nowadays, you can't even make a movie called The Rock without paying Mr. Johnson some money, I bet.
He'd have to be in it.
Yeah, that's true. He'd have to star in it.
Yeah.
That you have the idea of an FBI bomb squad agent who there's VX poison gas on this island that Ed Harris has held, Alcatraz, and that they have to find the one guy that escaped, and that guy is Sean Connery. My goodness, like that is so freaking cool. And I wouldn't be surprised if you searched like on Amazon or Apple TV just to rent The Rock. It would probably give you The Rock's movies.
Yeah.
But it's definitely worth a watch. So I highly recommend it for people who haven't seen it.
Okay. All right.
I'm curious to see which lane you go down, because I feel like it sets the tone for the remaining, the remaining 2 after it.
For people who have been listening, I dress like this person. I want it to be this person. And yes, this is Arnold Schwarzenegger. And it's got action in the name. Last Action Hero. Mm-hmm. It's just something that when we did this right away, I was like, oh, that was my Arnold Schwarzenegger movie that for me, I would watch on a desert island over and over again. Nothing against the gold standard of Terminator 2, but Last Action Hero, like you described, The Rock, it has everything. Yeah. Action, humor, fun, wit, intensity, some scariness,
whimsical. Like getting pulled into a movie.
It isn't possible.
What's not possible? He's fantastic. This is his best performance ever.
I'm glad that Arnold has made the list. I think that should calm down some people who are angry at starting off with The Rock.
I'm on the island. Oh, man alive. You can edit that out. Sorry, Arnold.
I am the hero, so shut up!
My second one is also, I feel like, a tangent. But it came out in 1998. I was 13 years old. And I remember seeing this at the local drive-in movie theater in the middle of summer. This movie was Armageddon. I mean, you have John McClane on a spaceship, and you're sending him to drill into an asteroid and put an explosive. Like you couldn't ask for a greater sequel to Die Hard than Armageddon, I feel like. I just loved it. I loved it so much. And similar to The Rock, it was, I feel like every single time now for the rest of this episode, when I refer to The Rock, it just sounds confusing. You just think I'm talking about Dwayne Johnson. It's an all-encompassing, entertaining movie that I loved as a kid, and I'd watch it on a desert island forever. I really would. It's a great movie.
How the hell do you know that?
Because I'm a genius.
talk about even young David, adult David, whatever, that twist at the end with the replacement of characters.
You can't see it on the camera, but it gives, just even talking about it gives me chills. It's a phenomenal scene.
And he's like, Harry, like, and
then he says, I love you.
Yeah. Oh man, we tell ourselves we're not going to cry in these episodes. I think we start crying before we even hit record, but
when we rented Armageddon, he cried at the end of it.
Bruce Willis, they're gonna leave him on the asteroid.
Okay.
All right, what's your number 2?
I have to go Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. And I just needed a movie that was just straight up action, kicking, fighting, special effects.
Yeah.
Have it all for me, that I was just like, and again, music, something to get you amped up, on hour 16 of being sitting in the sand. I probably thought of it way too much about the desert, the being stuck there, but I just needed something with some energy. And Liu Kang was one of my favorite characters. Raiden, Sub-Zero, Scorpion, and then Reptile later in the movie. Talking about a movie that I just remember vividly as a youngster. Now, the sun is setting. The palm trees are wisping. It's movie night. The number one.
You got Wilson the volleyball sitting next to you. You have built a giant fire. Here it comes.
Michael Bay is exploding things in the background. Where'd you get that fire kit, Michael Bay?
Optimus Prime is sitting right next to you. It's none other than this guy that's over my shoulder here, is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Thank you. It was rather wonderful.
When you pair him with Harrison Ford and you get the comedy hijinks of the two of them as father and son, and just the typical sort of cool action adventure of Indiana Jones, but seeing him as the son who craves the love of his father and the approval of his father in such a cool, realistic, connecting sort of way. And he's fighting the Nazis as usual, but fighting them to get the Holy Grail. That movie is an astonishing movie.
Dad! Oh, Dad! Oh, Dad! What? Head for the fireplace!
I should have said my third one first, because I had the best line. This last movie is the Holy Grail of all action movies. And for the YouTube, I've got my Indiana Jones shirt on, and it is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Just so our listeners know, David and I did not. We specifically want these types of episodes. We don't reveal this to each other, so I'm assuming this is awesome. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. How does this connect with you?
But the Last Crusade, when there's not a false note anywhere, and when you finally get Harrison and Sean Connery together. Yeah. And just the humor. I feel like the vulnerability on both of these major, major actors.
Yes.
In these scenes as father and son, the chemistry was undeniable.
Thank you. It was rather wonderful.
So the reason I kind of am best of the best thing right now, I think that's what we should call it when we get too excited. Whenever I was feeling depressed or sad or lost or had the blues, that movie would be on.
Absolutely.
Because there's so many great moments mixed within the action. Like Henry, we need the rest of the pages of the journal. They're with Marcus. You'll never find him. He knows everyone. He blends in. Yeah. And then the next scene, Marcus sticks out like it's... Hello.
It's like, does anybody speak English?
And I die.
Harris, Indy was the best hype man there. He was a great hype man.
And then
for
he
him.
goes, well, you said, Sean Connery goes, well, you said Marcus had, and Indiana goes, he'd get lost in his own museum.
Henry, follow me. I know the way. Ah!
I don't know. I feel like these are pretty dang good lists. I think we kind of totally redeemed ourselves.
And totally redeem yourself!
that I think for anybody that was upset about The Rock or Mortal Kombat or all this other stuff, I feel like ending with Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade is redeeming.
Yeah.